This video is a fairly in-depth look at how to create clothing in different ways. This is part of the Build a Snowman series. Check the links in the description for the other videos. Also, if you like what I do, then do check out my websites and playlists on this channel for more great content. And remember, Game Dev TV is doing their Black Friday deal at the moment. All their courses, including all the detailed courses that I've done for them, are $10, and you can get some great deals on bundles as well. All the links are in the description. Okay, so here's our beautiful snowman so far. And if you just want to do the clothing, then you can download this model. Links in the description. I think it'd look a lot better with a hat and scarf. So let's go back to layout mode and go through the ways we can create those. If I select on my snowman and go to edit mode, we can see the mesh is quite dense. And most of the time with a character like this would have a much lower poly mesh, so much less faces. And if I go to front view now and wireframe, C to circle select, I can select a load of faces like this. Right click to come out of circle select. See what I've got selected. Shift D to duplicate. And I can left click, so I've got a duplicate there. If I press G to grab, proportional edit's still on, so I'll turn that off. G to grab, in the Z axis, you can see I've got this new set of faces. And if this was lower poly, which like I say most characters would be, would have a nice clothing mesh that we could scale up, maybe select the top, back into proportional edit, G to grab, and start pulling it around and shaping it. However, it's still attached to the snowman, so I can just deselect, press P to separate, and by loose parts, that means this will become its own separate mesh. Now if I go back to object mode, select this object, I could then into edit mode and start shaping it into some kind of hat. So that's one simple way of creating clothing. The one I'm going to show you now will work for this sort of high poly mesh, so it will be much easier than what I'm doing here, and we'll have a much cleaner mesh. It can also actually be used for retopology as well, so if you wanted to retopologize the snowman, you could using this method. So back into object mode, delete that new mesh, and I'll turn off X-ray mode and zoom into where I think the hat should go. First of all, I'm just going to bring these down slightly, so I'll turn snapping back on, bring them down so he's got a nice lot of room for this hat. And I'm going to add a plane and shrink wrap it to the head. There is actually a slightly faster way, which I'll show you when creating the scarf, but for now let's just get the principles. So I'll shift right click just here, shift A to add mesh and then plane. It's very big, so I'll scale it down for one. So it's nice and small, and then I'll come around to the side and I'll rotate it so it's very close to the snowman mesh. So somewhere around here, let's scale it down just a touch more. So we're around there, nice and close to the snowman. So when I add a shrink wrap modifier, the points are very close to the mesh for it to stick to. So let's do that now. So I'll come across to our wrench or spanner, add modifier, and use the shrink wrap modifier. Now nothing will happen at the moment. I need to set the target. And the target, of course, is the snowman. We want it to stick to the snowman. So I'll use the picker here, choose the snowman, and you can see all the vertices stick to the snowman. However, it's sort of indented, so if I click away, we can't actually see it. So we need to kind of shift it upwards slightly away from the mesh. For that, where it says snap mode, we want to put above surface to always keep it on top or outside. And we can give it a slight offset. So if I press 0.01, which is 1 centimeter of course, we can see it sitting above our snowman just there. Now from here, I can build a hat nice and easily. So I'll go into edit mode, select this edge here. Now notice when I'm in edit mode, I've got the outline above the surface in its original position, but my finished mesh is where it ends up. We can change the way we see this by this button here, which is showing you the effect of the modifier. When we're in edit mode, we're going to see the actual position. When I turn it off, we see its position in reality. So if I were to turn the modifier off altogether with this button here, you would see our mesh jumps back to its original position. So I'll turn that back on, but I won't turn the on cage as it's known as, because there's an important second step, and that's to have snapping turned on. I'll turn it off for a moment and I'll press E to extrude to pull it out here, E to extrude to pull it out here. Now my mesh is sticking to the surface. That's great because we've got the shrink wrap modifier on, but in actual fact, if I zoom inside here, it's gone inside my snowman, so it's sort of moving perpendicular to my camera as I was pulling it around. And that gets really difficult to model if you only have the shrink wrap modifier and not snapping enabled. So I'll undo those two, turn snapping on and E to extrude, pull it out this way, and I can slowly go around my mesh, and you can see it's sticking to my object with snapping on, and my final result is just above the surface with the shrink wrap modifier with that offset. I find it helpful to have that on cage, so the modifier's result when I'm modeling, I find that's a bit easier, but do be aware you need snapping turned on as well, otherwise your shape could be going off in all directions and therefore difficult to model. I'll turn proportional edit off as well, and you might just want to adjust some of these, so rotate them a little bit. And I'll go all the way around. Now if I go too far, my mesh sticks through, so that's obviously too big a face, so I'll just bring it back slightly until it doesn't poke through too much. A little bit of poking through like that should be okay, because we're going to make it bigger in a second anyway. So just extrude all the way with E, and then rotate it if you have to. And I'll come around to the back here, but I'll finish about there because I might as well use a mirror modifier, so I only have to create one half. So let's add modifier mirror. So that's created the other half. However, our object origin is in the middle here, so we'll have a bit of an overlap there. I'll turn clipping on so that it sticks together in the middle of the mirror. Grab that and press GG to edge slide it back. GG is edge slide, so tap G twice. Let's come around to the back and just see what that's looking like. This time I just need to press G and snap it together like this. Now we'll see some difference here because our snowman isn't purely symmetrical. So if I take my shrink wrap and put it after the mirror, so it mirrors first and then does the shrink wrap, it should all be above the surface, apart from that tiny little bit there, but that should be fine. Okay, so that's a really useful way for creating clothing, and you can do this with t-shirts, trousers, socks, and so forth. So as soon as we want to move away from the snowman, it's easiest to apply the shrink wrap modifier and start modeling it by hand. So I'll go into object mode, because you can only apply your modifiers in object mode, and press Ctrl A whilst hovering over the shrink wrap modifier. Now I've still got my mirror enabled, and I can turn that off in a moment, but I'll go back into edit mode, select the top edge, turn snapping off, otherwise this won't work, select the top edge, extrude upwards, and then scale, extrude, and then scale. And notice the scale moves just this side into the median point of the selected edges, so it won't clip together. So E to extrude and scale, and I'll move it up to about here. And you can go backwards and start modifying your shape as you see fit. And we've got a very basic hat there. At this point, I'd fill in the face at the top there, because I'll put a ball on the end, but I'll add that in a moment after applying the mirror modifier. So let's go into object mode again, Ctrl A to apply the mirror modifier, back into edit mode. With that top face selected, proportional edit turned on, I can press G to grab, R to rotate, and move this into some sort of position, like so. If I go to edge mode with 2, so edge mode up here, and I can alt left click some of these edge loops like this, and rotate them if I need to, scale them, and Ctrl B to bevel if I feel there's not enough topology along there. And it's just a case now of reshaping and resizing them into position. This one's a little bit awkward at the moment. If I press GG to edge slide, but then I press E or F, that will either go to this sort of shape or back to the other side shape. So using the GG command and E or F can be really useful in reshaping. I can then select this edge loop here, Ctrl B to bevel, and I'm creating a snowman's hat. If I go to face mode, I can select these face loops here, and then I can extrude them outwards and scale them up, but I'll press Shift Z so they don't scale in the Z axis. So they're just coming out to somewhere around here. And I'll just move some of these edge loops around slightly to modify the shape and get it into a nice looking position. And we're kind of getting there. You might also want to select the odd edge or face and do some editing, a bit like this. Probably easier in face mode. And there's a basic hat. Into object mode, shift right click on the end there, shift A to add, and let's add an icosphere or a UV sphere. Either will be fine. Scale that down and move it into position. And obviously adjust if you need to. And we've got a basic hat. It looks like there's an overlap in the middle here, so I'll just check those faces, 3 to go to face mode, and I might need to delete some of these where there is a bit of overlap. And it looks like I've got a bottom ring of faces by accident, so I must have pressed E to extrude and cancelled it or somewhere along the line. I can select all my vertices, so 1 to go to vertex mode, A to select all, and M to merge by distance. And you can see it's got rid of all those that are touching each other. Okay, so back into object mode, check everything's okay. It looks like I've got 2 at the back there, 2 faces, so let's tidy those up. Lots of extra faces that I can just go in and delete. And it looks like these weren't quite touching when I applied my mirror. That's the problem. So let's select the verts there. M to merge by distance, but just increase the distance slightly until they touch together like that. And this one here, Control X to dissolve. Don't know where they came from, but they're gone now. Okay, so back into object mode. It's looking okay, and we can right click shade smooth. I think maybe a subdivision surface modifier will help just a bit. So add modifier, Subdivision Surface. And I think that's a little bit better. It just needs a little bit more of a crease in the middle here. I'll turn off wireframe for the moment. If I press Ctrl R, I can do a supporting loop in there, and we can have a bit more of a crease. And this one here, I can press G then Z and create a bit more of that rim around there. And we've got a very basic hat. Right click Shade Smooth on the icosphere, and I could add a Subdivision Surface modifier to that as well if I wanted to. Okay, so I'll very quickly go through the scarf and how I made that. Now a faster way than doing the hat is to add a cylinder, put it into position, and then add the shrink wrap modifier. So shift right click to move my 3D cursor, shift A to add, mesh, and then cylinder. 32 vertices should be okay for this. We'll just scale that into position, and obviously move it into position as well, until it overlaps and looks a little bit like a scarf. And we want it as close to the mesh as possible, but not going inside. So somewhere around there looks good. Into edit mode, and I can delete the top and the bottom. And from here, I can add modifier, shrink wrap, choose my snowman, make sure I'm above the surface, and an offset of 0.1, and that should work nicely. I'll probably want to adapt some of these, so into edge mode, G to grab, with proportion edit on, and snapping on. So G to grab, and notice how that jumped quite a lot when I turn the snapping on. So you might want to move them by vertices instead of edges. You can also select a few at a time, but just be careful it doesn't go around the corner because the snapping doesn't quite work. You can also delete half and use a mirror modifier, but remember that mirror modifier needs to go above your shrink wrap ideally so it sticks. And remember to turn clipping on so when you come to the middle they will clip together. Okay, so we've got a basic scarf there. We can add another modifier, the Solidify Modifier. Add modifier Solidify. And I'll turn off X-ray again. And let's go down and have a look at that. We can add the thickness. And mine's going in the negative to come outwards like that. But yours will vary dependent on the size of your model and your scarf. So just have a play till you find the right thickness. And once more, come up to the top, add modifier, Subdivision Surface. And we've got a sort of scarf looking thing there. I'll just minimize the mirror and the shrink wrap. We can obviously adjust the thickness if we think it needs to be a bit thicker or thinner, but also we can use the offset to bring it backwards into the middle of our shape if we need it tighter to our snowman. Lastly, you might want to go into edit mode and do a loop cut around here to sort of square it off slightly if you want a little bit more structure. And again, once you're happy with your shape, you can always come in and apply things like the mirror and the shrink wrap and move it into position. So apply the mirror, for example, apply the shrink wrap, and then I can come in and start editing my shape more. I'll turn snapping off, scale up slightly, grab in the Z to pull it down, and I've still got proportional edit on, so I can grab just the odd vertex and move it about. I didn't apply my solidify, so I can always add a bit more thickness if I feel I need to. And if you go into edit mode, remember you've got the on cage result there, so you can see the shape. I feel like I need to expand that middle one. I might press GG to edge slide and Ctrl R to do another loop cut down the bottom, and then up the level my subdivision surface, and I've got an even smoother scarf. So a bit of play and adaptation of these. Do remember, the more verts you add, the more complexity you have when you're editing the shape. Once I've done that, I can duplicate a couple of faces. Let's say these in here. Shift D to duplicate and left click to put that in place. G then Y to pull that outwards. P to separate by loose parts. And then I can come in, select that shape and start editing it as I see fit into some sort of circular knot. Something along those lines. I can select another couple of faces. Shift D to duplicate. Move that off to the side slightly. And this is now those sort of dangly bits of my scarf. I might turn snapping on again for this just to move it into position. I'll P to separate by loose parts, back into object mode, select my new shape and just start moving this across my mesh. And I can of course extrude this down as I see fit. Okay, so it's stuck inside my mesh now. Turn snapping off, G to grab and move it above. I can of course change the thickness for these ones and adapt the shape as I see fit. And if you need to add an edge loop to sharpen it up, then add that at the bottom. Shift D to duplicate to do the other side. Because I've duplicated the shape, my object origin is in a strange place. You can always adjust that, but for speed I'll leave it as it is, and I think I'll just take away this face here. So X to delete face and slide this edge up to there. A little bit of adjusting, and we've got kind of a scarf shape like that. I'll do a bit of adjusting at the top as well, I think. Now to add texture to this, very similar to how we did the snowman, back to the shading tab, and it's all white at the moment. Give it a new material, and I'll call this hat. Control-Shift-T to add my PBR material, and I found this nice fabric material in the same place as the snow, links in the description. Add this all in. I'll just pull this up so you can see what's happening. It's a very slight issue with this one. The actual color texture didn't come in, so I'll just duplicate one of these, Shift-D to duplicate, and open up the color. Might have been the name called base color. It was expecting color, so I'll just open that up and plug that into the color. Comes out all weird because we need to change the UVs to object, and all these need to change to box. And for a moment I couldn't figure out what's going on, but I need to hook this, of course, up, the vector in the input there. It wasn't hooked up, and I was thinking, why isn't that working? Then we can click and drag and change our scale, probably 0.1, maybe a little bit finer, so 0.05. We've got this cool fabric material there. We can add the same material to the scarf, different sections, the bobble, select our hat last, Control L, link materials. We've got different sizes of our objects, so if we press Control A and apply the scale, now it's far too big, so I'll select those, and about 5, nope, about 2, oh, we should have just stayed at 1, and that's looking quite good. The only thing is, it's a little bit of an overlap there. We can change that with the blend, probably 0.2 on each of them. Actually a bit less, probably 0.02 in fact. And there we go. Let's see what it's going to look like in cycles. Make that full screen. And it's looking quite nice. I think a bit of adaptation in the scarf, some supporting loops and things would help. Now because I reset the scale, the Solidify modifier is a lot thicker than it needs to be, so we can bring that back with each of these and move them into position. Okay, so that's a look at how you can create clothing for your characters, and hopefully you've managed to complete a snowman. I hope you enjoyed this mini-series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.